Hello and welcome everyone to Danny's Diecast. I'm Danny and this is Mr. Sam. Mr. Sam, you look ravishing as always. You look great as always, Mr. Sam. Yes, and I'm just going to reach down here and pet you. You are so great. Welcome, guys. Welcome. And yes, welcome to Mini GT Monday, and this is, oh goodness. Goodness, and you can see I have everyone ready to go. These are the Mini GT Honda Civic Type R's. Honda Civic Type R, that's number 24. That's number 1. But what we're going to do is we're just going to put this guy right up on the turntable and just get going. Guys, Twice Diecast I watched a program with Twice Diecast on Instagram yesterday. She was on with a husband and wife, and I had a little dog hair up there. I had to blow it off. But yes, he was on Instagram yesterday with a husband and wife. I cannot remember what their name is, and I should. I'm just gonna come over here and take a little sip of this. But it was very, very and that is extremely, extremely hot. I just woke up. It's Monday morning. But anyway, and he was on with a husband and wife team, and they do customs all over the place. And I just thought Twice Diecast, I thought David, that guy can work. He is just absolutely great. And yes, oh, look at that. And I'm just going to zoom in on him a little bit here. But yes, Twice Diecast, David is absolutely great. Look at those dual exhausts right there. And look at the, wow, lensed headlights. Lens taillights. What's up here in the front? Yeah, that's sort of like a painted, but not really painted. I really don't know what that is. And this is a Time Attack 2018. If you guys know what Time Attack is, let me know. Because like I said, I started collecting around 5 years ago. And that's what I collected, and I just I was like, I said to myself the one day, I said, Dan, and this was back right around the time 2016 that I got my first leg amputated, and that I got my left leg amputated. So then I had no legs, and they were both a year apart. I got this right one done in 2016, and that one done in 2017. So I got them done, and but I was wondering how could I wonder if I could do anything with die-cast cars, like with Matchbox, because I collected, I will let you guys know this, I collected Matchbox back when I was like 10 or 11. I'm 47 years old now. So I don't know, but that's back when I used to, and I collected, I had a couple here, I had a couple there, but that's what I was just, and like I said, around age 42, I really started getting into this, and I was like, I wonder if they can switch. I wonder if they can switch wheels. And I found out that that's a whole new customization thing that people do. They switch wheels. They do all kinds of stuff. And I was like, that is so interesting. That is so awesome. I wonder, could I do that? So you know what I did? I loaded up my garage out there. My garage, I have a full paint set. I have a professional. I got it an Iowa or a Wada or whatever, a spray gun. An ink. I'm not even really sure, but I have a compressor for it. I have a compressor. I have out there in my garage. I have a full paint booth. And I just started collecting all this stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm really going to do this. I think I really... And I started watching on YouTube because I've always watched YouTube. I started watching YouTube back around 2004, 2005. That's when I started watching, because that's when I got a computer. And I started looking up stuff on YouTube. And I started looking, and I found YouTube. Because, you know, that was just, back then, there was no such thing really as YouTube. And it started growing, and then I looked on YouTube, and looked around 2009, and just started, that's when I started watching Call of Duty videos. By my guy, 402 Thunder. And I started watching, all those videos and everything. And that's when I just started watching the stuff. And I am going to switch this guy out now. And I am going to put up the big gun. Look at this. That is number one. Right there. Number one, the Honda Civic Type R Championship White by Mini GT. And let's just look at this guy right now. Wow. But anyway, that's when I started looking, and I started finding, and I was like, and then back around 2016, I was like, yeah, I wonder, because, I wonder if what people do with these cars. And I looked up my first video on cars and my first video on die-cast cars. And there was a whole new world. I found out people painted them, and that you could paint them, you could strip them, you could put new wheels on them, and do everything that you wanted to do, and make them look absolutely gorgeous. So that's what I got the idea. I didn't have this right leg back in 2016, so I said, what the heck? I am going to start this. So I got all the bells and whistles, all the paint, all the everything that I got out in my garage. And then I was going to start, and then that's when 2018 came around. And right at the end of 2017, in December of 2017, I got that leg cut off. And then in 2018, because that was 2017, remember this whole thing, and that was 2018, and then 2018, I had a guy who used to be in Asparagus Poop with me. He was the rhythm guitar player of Asparagus Poop. He passed away. He passed away in March of 2018. He has 3 children and a wife. And he passed away. He had a a some sort of a heart attack, and he was a little bit younger than he was. I'm 47 now, so that was back. He was about 44 years old, and he passed away. And then I had, then in May, that was March, April, May, and in May I went out to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, because I wanted to go. I just wanted to get away. Me and my wife went. I looked at Hot Wheels and discovered Hot Wheels and Matchbox and everything, and by then I was already a bang up collector. But and if you want to say bang up collector, I was already in full collection mode back in 2018. Like I said, I started collecting at late 2016. That's when I started collecting. And in 2000, and me and my wife went out to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. We went up to Knoxville, Tennessee. We looked around Knoxville. I looked all the places I could look. From here to there, I stopped everywhere. I stopped everywhere on the way out to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And then on the 20th of May, I was coming back. I had a stroke. On the 21st of May, I had this stroke. And I couldn't remember anything. I was talking very strangely, kind of like I talk now. I'm just kidding. Kind of like I talk now, but it was much more strange than anyone has ever seen. Now, I've gotten a lot better. I learned how I had to go to the hospital. I had to go to the Memorial Hospital, or what it was, actually the other hospital over on the other side of Lancaster. I had to go there, and I was in there for 5 days. And I just had to learn, and I was set up with a speech therapist. I had to learn a whole bunch of stuff before and get back out there doing this stuff. And by then, this hand was non-existent anymore. I can move this hand and I can shake it and move it around, but I don't really have any strength in this hand. As a matter of fact, the whole right side of my body doesn't have any strength, and that's the way of the stroke. And so then I had all that stuff, and I'm like, well, now I can't do cars, because back then I wasn't doing cars yet. I was going out buying cars, and I had everything packed up out in my garage. And then I met Carney cases. And I went and got a Carney case. This past year, in 2021, I got my 2 cabinets and everything I got, because now I am a die-cast collector, and that's what I do now with my spare time. I collect die-cast. Anyway, guys, I'm rambling on. I wanted to tell you what was going on in my life, and tell me what's going on in your life. What's happening? What's happening with David from Twice Diecast? I loved your show yesterday on Instagram. It was fantastic. Remember, Don't forget, check me out on Instagram, check me out on Facebook, and right here on YouTube, it's Danny's Diecast, and I'm rambling. That's a Honda Civic Type R Championship White. That is a Honda Civic Type R in Time Attack 2018. They're both from Mini GTs, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday, maybe with some of that, maybe with that. I'll see you guys.